Hey everybody, I'm Dwayne Marino. Hope you're doing okay. We are really into uncharted waters here. There's never been a time in recorded Western culture that anything like this has ever happened. And we're into a situation right now that could last a day, a week, a month, a year. We really don't know. And hopefully everybody's safe and healthy physically. And these videos I'm going to start putting out every day, either on Facebook Lives or YouTube or like this, pre-recording it. My intention only is mental health, and I'm going to pull all these tips from my book called Unstoppable Attitude. Just to give you a little bit of backdrop, those people that know me very well, from the years of 15 to 25, they were brutal on me. And I've got a lot of friends that knew me then, and I'm such a private person and so good at not showing anybody what's going on. But my close family knows exactly what I'm talking about. And I actually started training to travel. I was in such a situation where I had so much carnage around me as far as relationships going and friends that had passed and people that were sick and everything else and lack of support. I had to get out. And I started really studying myself. And when I started studying myself, it put me in a position to study other people. And it really was the beginning of me getting addicted to this whole thing I've been doing here for 30 years, which is trying to pass on some information to improve people's health, wealth, and happiness. Now, being happy in these times, I guess it's relative. I mean, there's stories of people that come out of prison much better off mentally and emotionally, psychologically, than they were when they went in. And other people come out a lot worse. So you're going to use this time that we have to improve yourself, to cope a little bit, or at least to get through it. What I don't like seeing is the reptilian side of people's minds kick in all the time, and it's called fight, flight, or freeze. Fight, flight, freeze is some of the worst responses you can do when you're under stress. It's going to make you do everything wrong. Listen, I've said for years, you can't sell from fear. You can't grow a business out of fear. You have to have a calm, clear thought process and direction to make decisions. Pilots that make decisions in fear, would you want that pilot? Probably not. So there's time to look at the gauges. There's other time to go with your gut. And you do have to make some decisions. But I really just want to help everybody's mental health here, if nothing else. An unstoppable attitude is relative. So it's easy to let the good times keep rolling, and anybody when times are good, they really don't show their full side. But character is truly developed, and it's character you will never lose. Nobody can take a skill or an improvement that you've made on yourself away from you. It's yours forever. So if you can come through this a little better, stronger, smarter in any way, pick up any lessons, that would be great. And I'm not here as an unrealistic motivator, pump up person. That's not me. If you know me from my seminars at all, I'm known as a strategist because I'm super, super realistic. I'm not really an optimist, actually. I definitely don't see myself as a pessimist, but I look at everything. I look at all possibilities. I do wonder the reasons why things happen all the time, because that gives me some clarity on my next steps as far as where it's going to go. What do they say? If you understand history, you can predict the future. So that's always not a bad thing. But for right now, we got to deal with what we got to deal with according to what the authorities want, what society will accept, and also what you can do to make yourself better. If you found yourself locked up in your house alone, use times like this maybe to read and study, to do a business plan, to start really formulating how you're going to explode when this thing turns around, and it will. This too shall pass. If you're with other people, hey, hello, family. Nice to see you again. Get reacquainted, do what you can do. And please, if nothing else, try to live from here and not from the back of your head, which is very reactive and very negative. So this really chapter, after I get through this lead-in business, is about time. It doesn't matter what's going on in your life. You have 365 days. You got 52 weeks. You got 7 days a week. You got 24 hours a day. You have 1,440 minutes a day, 86,400 seconds. I'm sure you've all heard this. That time is very much like a bank account because you're going to spend it or you're going to invest it. And this is true at work when things are great. I've often said that I find cemeteries motivating. I'm not motivated by cemeteries, don't get me wrong, or death or anything like that. But I find them motivating in a way that I think if everybody could speak to us underneath that ground, they would say, Dwayne, bro, go for it. Have some fun. Be kind. Leave a legacy, help people, live. That's what they would say. And they would even tell you when you're at work to enjoy your work, because I've said for years, there's been times in my life when work was not fun, when I hated it, when I wasn't good at it. And once you find something at least you can enjoy, work that you enjoy is a blessing. It's a gift. And you ask anybody in the hospital at any time, and I've got some health concerns going on in my family right now on top of this. I've got some financial stuff that kind of relates to that and other things. Like I've got a full plate, my friends, believe me. And nobody really cares what your personal problems are in any times. And right now, we've got to join together and make these times easier on all of us. But you want to You want to do things in a way that you're going to come out of this proud of yourself is the first thing I would suggest. You don't want any shameful actions, comments, behaviors in your past. You want to be looking at this thing in the rearview mirror, continually going, man, I wish I didn't say that. I wish I didn't do that. I've seen some crazy things happening at the grocery store, gas stations, at my office, at my last training seminar Monday and Tuesday, walking, down hallways, up escalators. It can bring out the ugly side of people's behavior very quickly. And you want to learn how to breathe when you're under stress, because breath is something that changes your whole physical makeup and how your mind works. But I want you to start thinking about how you can invest your time. Get a pad of paper out and really see if you can formulate a plan for yourself on what you're going to do with whatever time you've got in your hands. And if you're lucky enough to still be working, keep working, because your competitors aren't. And if you're stuck at home, hone your skills. Watch some videos, go on YouTube, get some online training, buy some books, read some books, do what you can, but build yourself and build your character and show the people around you that you're able to do that. Be a hero for somebody during these times. You don't have to have somebody say, Dwayne, I'm ever glad you're here and helping me, but maybe in 5 or 10 years, this person can kind of mumble under their own breath or say to you, dude, how did you do this? Like, how did you do that? You want to become people's heroes even indirectly, because that's what it means to be a legacy. So first off, be a hero for people. Look at people's behavior right now. Find some behaviors and activities and attitudes you don't want to partake in. I call those anti-heroes. So I have never seen a perfect person. I've never seen a completely terrible person. Everybody does something well, and some people do some things that you don't want to do. This is not the time to go hating on Trudeau or Trump or whatever. That's not going to make you a better person. It's a bad time to show your cards in terms of your political alliances. Who cares? Everybody's going to make some decisions that are good for them, bad for others, or vice versa. This is not the time to talk about that. I want you to work on yourself. You want to work on yourself from the inside out. A dash. You go to a cemetery and you see that dash. Everybody knows when they were born. Everybody worries about when they're going to die. But really, for most of us, or for a lot of people, the only legacy you're going to have permanently is a dash. This is part of your dash, my friends. Live your dash. My father grew up in the war. I could give some very interesting stories. And at some point, when I don't give a fuck about my business or anything, what people think of me, I'm going to put out there the lessons that I learned as a child about the world and about people that I learned from my father. And some of them aren't pretty, and some of them are kind of crazy, but they've really served me well. And he's got stories about him being in trains. He had to pull his mother out of blown up trains. And there's an Italian soldier, a German soldier, him, an American soldier, and the conversation they tried to have in broken English, or broken Italian, I guess, at that time as well, and broken German, about how the world really works and what things are really important, and how all of a sudden enemies are friends when you find yourself in a blown up train. Like, there's a lot of things that I think of in my life that I resort back to those wartime thoughts. And a lot of us don't have parents or grandparents you ever hung around with that gave you that information. I learned a lot of interesting things from my father. He often told me, listen, don't worry about the end of the world. The end of the world is over when you're over. We're only going to die once. If we die together, if we die as a group, what the hell does it matter? You're only going down once. Live your life. A lot of simple, crazy war wisdom there. But I want you to work on your dash right now. I'd like you to really take out your day planner or your piece of paper and map out any way, physically, mentally, financially, you can improve yourself. And you know what? We're all going to go backwards here financially for a while, and it's going to wipe out some companies. There's no doubt. If this continues how much longer, now what could the government do about that? Well, they might just, tell the banks, say, listen, as of this date, forget about it. You're not getting your money. As of that date, you cannot report that stuff to the credit bureau. This was something we caused. They could do a lot of things with our lenders and our reporting institutions to make life a lot easier on everybody afterwards. So let's kind of wait things out and see what happens there, because I am a bit of a realist, and they've got to do business as well when this thing is done, and they can't put everybody, down the river and destroy their credit or whatever else you may be worried about. And let's just ride this out the best that we can. Some of you will be affected minimally by this. You could be on fixed incomes, government pensions, company pensions. Anything that you're doing like that where you have a strong net, I'm very happy for you at this time, because it's going to ride you out. Other people could be totally overextended right now, and then their income completely drops, and this isn't a pleasant situation either. So you've really got to think about what your next options may be, but I don't know if it's going to be as bad as we think, because everybody is in the same tub. So my friends, you don't ever have to go to work. You get to go to work. You don't have to listen to me. I guess you get to listen to me if you think it's somewhat of a privilege to still be online and watch YouTube videos. But bring your better self out in these times. If you have the opportunity to help somebody in public, either just through a nice look or a smile or something of understanding or a conversation if you're practicing social distancing or whatever, but don't completely turn your back on your fellow human. Bring your better side out during these things. I want you to help and not hate. I like you to just try to have some small wins here and not continue to whine, but message your friends, tell them you're there for them. Hopefully you genuinely mean it. And if somebody needs your help, reach out and work on yourself the best that you can. What do they say? The devil makes The devil makes work for idle hands. Keep busy. Whatever you're going to do, keep busy. Read, study, do push-ups, do sit-ups, exercise in the home if your gym is closed. And I think that a lot of them are all closed right now. But stay in your circle of influence, in your circle of power, and we're going to ride this thing out. So I'm Dwayne Marino. I hope to come back at you tomorrow with the next thing. This one here really was about time and your dash. I want you to use it wisely. Take care, and we'll see you soon.